Warning: the following content was produced from an exotical perspective and may cause irritation and feelings of triggerness in individuals with closed minds, hating as monitoring spirits, inferiority complexes, or hotep tendencies. RDBG is not responsible for any emotional dysregulation or crash outs that may occur as a result of watching this video. Viewer discretion advised. Hey y'all, I wanted to come on and make a quick video again about how I believe exoticals are punished for the internalized isms of other people. And I was going to do this video much later on, but I wanted to push it forward because I just did a video about being what I call a shade shifter, where I spoke briefly on some of my experiences at different shades of light skin, from my Venti 230 shade up to my Venti 360 shade. Now, I couldn't remember everything I've been through because who has time for all that? I've been harassed for various reasons many times, but I did state that objectively I'm treated worse the lighter I am. But then someone commented that they're an MLS person who has never caught flack for being light skinned and insisted that I stop pretending I'm not praised for my light skin. And immediately I thought, okay, either this person is lying about being MLS, this person is a disingenuous light skinned savior type, because the entire exotical space can't be fucking lying. And that fake humble shit can only last for so long. Everybody gets tired of being invalidated eventually. Or this person is MLS but doesn't benefit from pretty privilege. And that's just me being very blunt. Because if the Black community doesn't view you as a threat, you would have a different experience from me. And that makes sense. But when this person assumed that I had been praised, I started flipping through my memories, because I do try to be as objective as possible on this channel. And I'm like flipping through and I'm like, I don't know. Maybe this person views sexual harassment and objectification as praise, because those are the only encounters I could remember coming close to what this person might be referring to as quote unquote praise. And I think more highly of myself than that. Yeah, I think pretty highly of myself. So that's not the type of validation that I seek out personally. But outside of objectification, there isn't very much praise that comes from being light-skinned in the Black community, at least not directly. The last I checked, they were saying that every medium tone in between dark skin and white is ugly and basic, and they were condemning all light skins. But like, how am I supposed to believe that when the actions say differently and there are people bleaching and tanning to be the shades I can be naturally? So we get called preferences and told we're pedestalized, right? But what I'm starting to notice is when people say that, they're just verifying how they feel inside. Because the outward manifestation of said pedestalization is usually just blatant prejudice and hostility in an attempt to prove that they don't view you as better or higher up the hierarchy. And some of them will even say there is no hierarchy. And I prefer the latter. But if there is no hierarchy, there should be no reason to continue the propaganda to view light skin as negative. It's like they just want us to feel insecure and have low self-esteem, because a lot of unambiguous people do. That's why they come up with dumb shit like this.
No. Hey guys, so today we're going to be breaking down conventionally unattractive light-skinned girl syndrome. We're going to call it CULS. So because our society is extremely colorist, a lot of times being light-skinned is enough to get you by as far as beauty standards. What I've noticed is light-skinned women who feel ugly, who feel like they're not actually conventionally attractive, will overcompensate by constantly talking about things such as their skin color. If you don't believe me, here's some examples of light-skinned women who aren't colorist. Here's another one. Now, these women have never felt the need to compare themselves to dark-skinned people as compared to somebody like this who has been known for saying colorist or doing colorist things. So to any light-skinned women that are suffering from conventionally unattractive light-skinned girl syndrome or CULS, I want you to know that you're more than your skin color. You are valid because you are a human being.
First of all, why are they making this shit a syndrome? See, this is what I mean. Pretending being light-skinned and unattractive is a chronic condition is rooted in the fact that the unambiguous community has pedestalized us for so long. They think it's a condition to be deemed light-skinned and ugly at the same time. It's almost as if they think being perceived as attractive is the only positive thing light-skinned women care to be. It's crazy. And obviously, no one is obligated to pedestalize anyone. However, when you find people going out of their way to be nasty, unkind, and intentionally withholding common decency because they stereotype you as someone who expects themselves to be worshipped because of your skin tone, your hair, or features, you have to understand that that person absolutely does pedestalize you, whether they want to say it or not. And they're having your presence trigger their internalized isms, and now they feel they have to outwardly prove that they don't covet your phenotype or feel some level of jealousy. It often feels like how in elementary school when a boy had to feel like he had to bully you to prove that he wasn't crushing on you too hard and always thinking about you. It's like, baby, we see through that. You don't have to be rude or unkind. Just don't say shit to me, period. However, because the Black community conflates their internalized fetishization of your phenotype with something positive, they get internally triggered by wanting the validation of our attention. They just want our attention without making it known that they think our phenotypes are admirable to them. They could just compliment us like healthy people, but they think validating someone in a healthy way is confirming that that person is above them. It's so weird. Whole time, being rude unprovoked makes them look even more like a hating ass weirdo. Sometimes I think a lot of unambiguous people don't even realize how they behave outwardly, especially when that jealousy demon starts to take over. Like, here's the weirdo behavior I don't understand. If you're not jealous, or at minimum, pedestalizing MLS women, why on earth do you feel the need to go out of your way to prove you don't, right? For a group of people that claim they don't uphold light skin, why do they feel the need to humble, to be rude to, insult, or generally mistreat light skinned women in order to prove that they don't pedestalize us? Let's just take how I feel about white people, for example. They obviously exist. And for the most part, they have a privileged existence. But that doesn't offend me for multiple reasons that I won't get into in this video. But when I interact with white people, I'm not going out of my way to ruin their day or humble them on account of they stereotypically live a quote unquote better life because they're perceived as higher up the societal hierarchy than me. That's for people who center white supremacy, of course. But I also don't automatically assume all of them are white supremacists. I only correct those that actually need it. But I don't feel the need to prove to every white person I meet that I don't pedestalize them. I just don't. I just treat them with respect like a human, like I do everyone. So why is it that Black people collectively feel the need to deliberately and publicly prove, whether that be through unwarranted announcement or some other form of mistreatment, that they do not pedestalize light-skinned women? And men, honestly, like, this is a general light-skinned conversation, but obviously I'm a light-skinned woman, so I think from that perspective, that alone, though, is a proof of a pedestal. You don't need to bring someone down to size if you don't feel like they're bigger than you, even if they feel like they are bigger than you, right? Like, fuck how they feel. That's not my business. The reality of pedestalization and preference treatment in the Black community looks like being told you're preferred while being expected to accept responsibility for other people's weird feelings about you and the abuse that often comes with it. Like, if we're so preferred, why are they having such a hard time listening to our side of the story? Should we be getting coddled if we are preferred? Or is that disregard intentional so that they can use that as a reason to justify the collective abuse? It's like, see, look, this privileged bitch thinks she deserves to not be a victim. Abuse her more. It looks like using the degradation of MLS people in conjunction with the overhyping of dark-skinned people as a virtue signal for not internalizing isms as well. But that shit ain't fooling nobody. Where they put their attention and support tells us everything we need to know. It's like people ignore the fact that these notions occur inside of their heads. MLS people don't force that. They hate so much that they love us and want to live vicariously through us. No one has to pedestalize us. A prime example is how they're trying to hype Skepta to humble Aaron Pierre for absolutely no fucking reason. Nah, ho, we saw you in them comment sections foaming at the fucking mouth over Mufasa. They both can be attractive. You know that, right? They are both attractive. You don't have to pretend you don't like light skin in order to appreciate dark skin. So, yeah, I hear a lot of, well, y'all are pedestalized. Y'all are the preferences. So when they call us preferences, I immediately know the convo has turned male-centered. Cool. So being a preference and being sought after for your genetic material is such a prize. Why do they gossip and revel at a preference becoming a baby mama so much? Shouldn't you be celebrating looping the exotical genes back into the community so your ass can stay as bigoted as you are? It's literally crazy how they lack empathy for exotical women who are in the same situation as many, many, many unambiguous Black women who get on these apps daily and whine about their bootleg baby daddies who don't pay child support or even know their child exists, honestly. Why make a spectacle of someone if being preferred is a desired position? Or they want to punish you because they think white people like you more while reminding you they don't. They punish you for your fluid identity and even for existing. For every point they make about MLS people, they counter it in the next one. They prove they just want to bully us and make us suffer for being born unable to relate directly to their experience. They say we don't know what it's like to be discriminated against for our skin. Wrong. We actually do. Clearly. We just don't know what it's like to have it done while dark skinned. And that's nothing we can do about that. And apparently, empathizing isn't even enough. But that's not my problem either. But that's all I have for this video. If you like the video, please be sure to like and make sure you become a subby. And I'll see you next time. Love you, Bookie.